eastern American seaboard. We don't even know what the hell it is.
Neighborzilla, what is this, episode 3?
2 or 3, I'm not sure. We had one that was still floating around, so we don't know. But, yeah. There will be more, obviously.
Absolutely. Alright, today's movie is Godzilla, but we're doing Godzilla 98.
Yes.
It's the American one. It's wild. This one is like the most hated movie I've ever seen a fan base attack for some reason.
It's on a top 3. Whatever one has Minya or Manila. Baby Godzilla, the first one or two iterations, he looks like a lizard donkey fucked.
Yeah.
And he talks in one of the movies. There's some bad ones, but it's in the top 5 hated ones.
Like, this is almost as bad as a Star Wars fan if you say you like the prequels.
Yeah.
Like, if you were one of those people, they're like, oh. You get those kind of side-eye looks.
You're a fan of Jar Binks?
Like, yeah.
No.
So that's hilarious.
This is a look you get for liking a Wilfred Brimley one.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think people know that that's even a thing.
We might do that one pretty soon. I think it's the Caravan of Courage?
Something crazy like that. Be on the lookout for an obscure Star Wars series review from us.
The Diabetes episode
Oh, yes.
is going to be off the hook. But yes, it's a hated movie.
For sure. But this Godzilla, it's directed and written by Roland Emmerich. And they're calling it a reimagination of Godzilla.
1,000% I agree.
That's how it's framed.
1,000% agree with that one. It's a reimagining.
And this one is the one I think most people our age grew up on. This was the big, oh my god, Godzilla movie.
Yes, this was the first American adaptation.
Yeah.
I believe. So it was very, very huge news. It was Toho was finally handing essentially the keys to the kingdom to
right?
some random company. Not random company, but you know.
Pretty random.
They're not in-housing it for like probably the 4th time they probably didn't in-house it, and the other ones were possibly just do another branch of Toho in Japan.
And this one stars Matthew Broderick, Maria Patillo?
I believe, yes.
Who else is in this movie?
I don't know his name offhand. You have it in front of you.
Kevin Dunn, Mike Lerner?
Yes.
Is that the Simpsons guy?
A lot of the cast is Simpsons or Simpsons related to an extent.
And it's
or
really
does a lot of voices on The Simpsons. Like, they're an iconic person. There is Hank Azzini or something like that, I think.
Yeah.
And he does Mo, as well as I don't know how many other characters, but he's known for Mo.
The little town people,
and Kent Brockner's voice actor is the news anchor in this movie.
News anchor.
Yes.
So it's so great. I guess that's why the voices just like fit when we were children. We just subconsciously knew these people's voices.
This movie was
crazy.
Exactly what, to an extent, the marketing level was.
Oh my god, the marketing.
It was like handing you a cheeseburger.
Yes.
It had everything liked on it. It was your personal cheeseburger for the most part. Or anything you didn't like, you could pick off and still enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
Very, very kind of safe, but at the same time, very drastic.
Yeah.
This movie is one of the reasons why it's hated is the obvious thing is Godzilla's design.
Godzilla.
Actually, origins. Most of everything about this Godzilla is different. It's actually known as Zilla now, trademark through Toho because they own the rights to it, and it's its own thing. It's a nuclear-rated iguana, essentially, kind of species.
Yeah.
That asexually reproduces, and it kind of reminds me of a virus in that sense that it reproduces, and as long as the climate is acclimate, it can live. Life will find a way.
Yeah.
But yes, the redesign is very drastic, very iguana-based. People did not like that at all.
No.
I personally am a fan of it. I would probably say it's one of my top designs, probably top 3, top 5 at least. Only because there's so many.
Yeah. And I mean, in the context of this world being a reimagination of the whole franchise itself, it works the way they did it.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm curious.
Making it an iguana-esque thing.
What was your take on the design because for those of you who don't know, I'm the big Godzilla fan.
Yeah.
Jake, yes and no, he enjoys them, but I'm a whole nother level.
Yeah.
He can't pick out and tell you, oh, that's Megalon, that's Batra,
no, absolutely not.
I can do that, he can't. So outside perspective, what was you've seen the Godzilla design originally, what was your fan?
I loved it, and it actually fucked me up because it was one of the first images of Godzilla I've seen. I thought that's what Godzilla was supposed to be.
I got you.
So
that's
imagine,
weird.
And I had the tapes, the black and white.
Yeah.
I thought that was a whole nother thing. I thought that was like some bullshit from back in the day.
So you literally took it how they wanted it to be.
Yeah.
It was a reimagining.
Yeah, like,
you accepted it.
I was like, okay, what's
cool.
this? I'm with it.
That's cool.
Until I seen the more recent one, was like 2014 when they brought it back. And,
yes.
And it's real looking Godzilla. It's actually Godzilla.
It's more quote unquote scientifically accurate. It has alligator feet.
Yeah.
It's very alligator based.
But that fucked me up for a long time until I actually started seeing what it is.
Gotcha. So you liked it. You liked it off the bat immediately?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
And then just like we
cool.
were saying, the marketing for it was perfect. Because it was shaped like an iguana, you could wrap it around shit.
The marketing... I agree with what you're saying. As a product, it was fantastic. But the marketing was... The marketing was pretty fucky. I hate it. It was a dick joke. Everything was size matters.
Yeah.
It's bigger this time. No one could do it like America. It was weird. I didn't like it. I was young. I didn't quite get it. But now, as an adult, I look back and I'm like, wow, they literally had size does matter with like a Godzilla print and that green alien-looking lettering and font color.
Yeah. On
the side of a bus, like size does matter. Like
that's funny.
It's a dick joke rolling through the city.
Yeah.
With an iguana foot.
That's good.
I hated it. I do appreciate the fact that the Taco Bell dog is canon. It's 100%. Canon in the kaiju verse.
100%.
It can't do anything, but he can apparently lure kaijus. They need to bring him back in the new the legendary.
Yes, that would be so great.
They have like an orca like mind control thing, spoiler kind of thing for the future ones. And yeah, they're controlled like through like telepathy to an extent. And yeah, I want a Taco Bell dog to be like bait.
100%. I'm with that.
Let's bring it back.
Taquito Taco Bell, that guy.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's so good.
It's good.
There was a shirt, a Taco Bell shirt, and it said, "Here, lizard, lizard," with just a Taco Bell dog, and the back maybe said Godzilla. And it's just a weird, obscure shirt. Looking at it, you don't know what it's for. That's horrible marketing.
A wild lizard shirt.
Yeah, it's talking about a lizard, but there's a chihuahua on the shirt.
True, but then they also hit home runs like the alarm clock.
I don't remember the alarm clock, weirdly.
It's like Godzilla wrapped around the Empire State Building.
I'm going to say Chrysler Building because they make a comment.
Chrysler Building.
They make a comment, and I think that's the one.
It may be that. But it was a great alarm clock. The toys themselves were... They had so many different ones. Like, good... size, playable. I don't know. I guess I was just the right age.
Yes,
for the marketing, but everything was right.
The toys were good. Not the best. They definitely, Trendmasters definitely was not a NECA. It definitely wasn't a Bandai level kaiju figure.
Yeah, no.
But they were good. I'd say the
Functional,
toys
I'll
were
say.
weaker though than the toys from fast food restaurants.
Yes.
That cup holder,
Hard.
you could pick one up for $7 on eBay, and there's probably 10,000 of them still to this day. That's probably the biggest piece of merch in all Godzilla history is that cup holder.
That's
fantastic. But yeah, the fast food toys lasted for a while. I still see some pop up on like review channels or something like that, and they'll be like, "Hey, we're using the squirt gun
you
tank."
have the actual
A hand puppet. Yes.
the hand puppet. It
I think
still works.
It was
It's insane.
White Castle or Taco Bell or KFC had a hand puppet toy. It might not have been a fast food, but it's a hand puppet that makes a roar.
Roar.
And it still to this day makes the
Works.
little
It's so good.
fantastic. The toys were very solid, but marketing, I hated it. And that's what a lot of true people that were kaiju fans at the time and still to this day hate.
Oh yeah, I totally understand that.
It's a very divisive film. It's very, very obscure. New design. The marketing was treated weird. Toho hated it. I think they canceled and bought them out of the other rights to make movies because they were trying to do a trilogy, I think.
Yeah.
And Toho was immediately like, no,
Not gonna happen.
we're good. How much do we owe you?
It's crazy. As many times as I've seen this movie, not till recently did I catch all the Simpsons people and the references and like the little things throughout the movie.
Yes, you had a question. It was we were watching it probably like a week ago, and you were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, who is the news guy?" Because his voice sounds familiar. I'm like, he's the news guy.
He's the news guy
from The Simpsons.
Exactly.
Yes, he's just the news guy.
I was like, oh my god, okay.
But yeah, Hank Azzini, the animal is his name in the movie. He is a cameraman that works for the same company as Matthew Broderick's love interest kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think they end up getting together at the end. But yes,
Of
he's
course.
her cameraman that kind of like... Because Godzilla hits... We'll talk about the plot now, I guess.
Yeah.
We've talked about the marketing. We've talked about the
Pretty much. I think we've touched on all
fear-mongering
Oh.
intro. Because
God.
I have to state these things before you do this movie. It's like Shin Godzilla. I have to be like, well, this design is completely different, y'all.
Yeah.
I like the film, but I'm not one of the people that just likes this film.
Yeah, and everything we say is in the context of this world. So you take it for what it is, as opposed to comparing it to what it should be, I would say. I would rather look at... That's one thing about, like, the universes, like the kaiju universe and stuff like that I don't really understand. But if you look at it in the context of a standalone movie, it's its own thing, and it's decent.
Yes.
And it's, you know...
It's a good movie. I like it.
Thank
No, but
you.
as you said, it's
Yeah.
the dust has settled.
Yeah.
It's a 98, you said. That's almost 30 years, almost, give or take.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's a old movie. So the dust has settled. Yeah, you can say you like it now. But yeah, the marketing was the only thing I hated about the movie, honestly.
And I guess I was just too young to catch all that. So, you know, I don't have it yet.
I saw it around. I think 2 or 3 years older than you. I saw it after I'd seen a bunch of other Godzilla movies just through TNT at late night used to play those.
That might have been.
And stuff like
didn't
that.
have the tapes. It
I'd
might have
catch-
been TV.
Yeah, I'd catch those. And so I knew Godzilla, but I was too young to care.
Yeah.
I just assumed,
Godzilla.
well, this one's not black and white. So
I'm
obviously it's going
definitely
to look
watching it.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think immediately after they did Millennial Godzilla, because Toho was mad, they pushed out. The original plan was to give TriStar the rights for a good minute. You do a trilogy or so. We're going to take a break because we pushed out. I think it was almost 40 movies or so in the Godzilla franchise, and that maybe not is including all the Gamera films, all the Mothra films.
Because
they had a lot of movies out, so they wanted to take a break and give the market a chance to breathe. It was kind of like they had their Mickey Mouse. They knew it.
Yeah.
We've known it for 50 years or some shit.
Yeah.
So that was the plan, but they hated it so much that they immediately started a new franchise of their Godzilla to combat it.
To get rid
And it's
of it.
great. And I believe it's Millennial Godzilla, and they instantly kill off Zilla in like 10 seconds. It attacks Sydney, and Godzilla just shows up and tail whacks it.
That's nice.
I don't even think it's Godzilla. I think it's someone else. Just, kills him instantly. It's fantastic. They hated it. But, yeah, we can talk about the plot now. It opens up with the, that's what I didn't get. I have to go back to this. Is why people didn't like it.
Yeah.
It starts as a Godzilla movie. Every other one does. A storm on the ocean, a Japanese fishing boat being attacked by Godzilla, either by chance or planned. And it's what every Godzilla film is. It's shot amazingly. You still hear a lot of languages. You hear some Korean, I think, and you hear Japanese.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's panicking. It's shot fantastically. It's pitch black night. All you have is like the alarm and safety lights and the usual hall lights, etc. Just shot so well. And I always come back to that scene. Anytime someone says they don't like the movie, I'm like, well, I don't care your opinion about the rest of the movie. This first 10 minutes or so, what is your take on it?
See, for me, I really enjoyed the intro because it sets up the whole rest of the movie.
And you didn't know it was an homage either,
yeah,
so you just got to enjoy it.
Yeah. So, like, you're watching it, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
It's used in a lot of
crazy
kaiju.
lizard, hatches from egg, obviously. Radioactive, gets big. Holy shit, now it's doing that again in this huge city.
Yes.
Amplified. So it put it all into perspective early, so you kind of seen what was going to happen beforehand.
Yes, I think they show you right before the boat scene in the like literal beginning credits is B-roll again
Of like an actual
all
iguana.
the old movies used to have. We're gonna fill in some blanks with a B-roll of a spider, and then a nuke goes off. You get the picture. That's why Tarantula's big. They had an iguana. They had a nuclear bomb go off. Godzilla. You get it? Cool.
Yeah.
And they had this boat intro that is a very good scene, and it's an homage. Very impactful. And then it cuts to just Matthew Broderick, correct?
Yeah.
In Chernobyl, doing his worm experiments.
Oh, yeah.
He is known for his work in the field of radiation and its effects on the environment, or specifically animals, I think, their evolution.
Yeah.
Because he makes a comment, the worms are 10 times bigger or 3 times bigger than they should be, and I feel like that's a effect of Chernobyl. And it quickly explained that, because I'd probably say 2-3 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
He's doing an experiment, put some rods in the ground to up earth. Not iguanas. Iguanas come from the ground in this movie.
Yeah.
Worms.
Jesus
And
Christ.
a black flag kind of organization comes up and picks him up, a branch of the military that's not listed.
Yeah.
And they tell him, well, you're being transferred, and he's like, to where? And they quickly cut to, I believe it's an island, obviously in the Pacific, I want to say. I would imagine between Japan and Hawaii kind of region.
Something like that, I would imagine.
And there's a boat. The boat in the original scene is washed up on shore with just tears and scratches, and it's explained that it was a tuna fishing boat. And there is a giant footprint that is not shown to you, and it's not shown to Matthew Broderick. I don't know personally. I feel like if I was in the helicopter, I would look out the window.
Me too.
Especially when they're like, we're about to land. How we did not see a giant footprint in the island.
Yeah,
Yes.
that threw me for a loop. So I was like, wouldn't you just in the air?
Exactly.
Dude?
I don't know. But he doesn't see it. And he's like, oh, what am I experimenting on? And he's like, well, you're in it.
I do gotta say though,
And the camera pans out. Yes.
other than this obvious oversight by Matthew Broderick,
Just being a bad helicopter pilot or
he is
passenger.
actually really good in this movie. In his weird, awkward camera guy, scientist, researcher role, his little thing, it's very Peter Parker-esque.
Yes, I can get that.
You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
I get weird little Peter Parker vibes from him. And I don't know, I thought he did really well. playing the nerd with no chance.
It's probably immediately one of my favorite roles from him. A, because it's Godzilla. And the only thing I can remember him really doing is Ferris Bueller, obviously.
Ferris Bueller.
And Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
What else has he done? Can you Google that real fast for me?
Yeah, I know he's done, obviously.
And the Frenchman that they introduce in this scene I'm about to bring up. Who is he? I know he's in The Professional, Leon, and he's in a bunch of things, but he's a main character, and I wish he is brought up more, but he's not. He's brought up, essentially he is kind of, to me, a callback of the OG Godzilla movies, of the mysterious, handsome agent man that pops up in every iconic scene, playing a different small character. Like, oh, I'm a reporter. Next scene, he's, in the background as a cameraman. He's a donut shop guy. Like, he's always playing a character, and you don't know exactly his job, other than being a French agent. And I wish they got him in the movie more. It's insane. Yeah, but he's a good actor. He's a good actor for when he's casting. He's also another...
Probably his most famous other role is the Da Vinci Code.
He is in Da Vinci Code, is he? Yes.
Yeah, he's the...
I always think Leon. That's him and Natalie Portman.
True.
And he's a hitman.
Yeah.
And I think Gary Oldman is in that movie as well. Good movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I forgot he was in Da Vinci Code. Yes, he is the French policeman, correct?
Okay, and his name is...
Jean Reno. Yes, Jean Reno. He's a good character. He's probably my favorite character in the whole movie, and he's not used nearly enough. But yes, back to the plot. I'm sorry, we had a little tangent about Matthew Broderick and stuff. And, but yeah, they're two of the bigger names. But
yeah, Matthew Broderick and Jean Reno.
Yes. They're definitely the saving gems of the movie. A lot of characters, like I said, are very shallow and kind of grinding. Hank Azzini, Animal, the cameraman, he's another enjoyable character, but they use him enough. He had some good, funny slapstick moments, but they didn't take away from the movie.
Just checking back in with the Matthew Broderick movies. No, it's Godzilla. He's not in anything.
I know he did Deck the Halls and Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, he's done. Don't get me wrong. He's done a lot of movies.
Well, his career fell off because of charges.
Oof.
Yes, he accidentally fell asleep behind the wheel and killed a mother and daughter or something like that in Ireland. Unintentional manslaughter. I think it got the eventual final charge, or something like that. He didn't serve time.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Holy crap!
But his career had a big lull, and I don't think it ever bounced back. Nothing against the man. Don't wish him harm. But yes, that stopped his career dead in his tracks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say Godzilla is probably his most iconic role, other than the obvious Ferris Bueller.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yes, after that, I believe it cuts to New York, and they introduce the love interest of Matthew Broderick. She is I think she's just a PA, like a production assistant.
Yeah, she
and maybe
wants
a script writer, something like that. But yes, she wants to be on TV, known. I'm, blank and blank, and this is tonight's news. She wants to be, awesome.
Of course.
And her boss is sexually harassing her, obviously. So it's canon. But yeah, she's not happy with her life, and then it wants to introduce some characters, but the whole time you're waiting for Godzilla. But it quickly shows up in the span of when they get to New York. But I'd say there's probably a good 20 minutes almost of the film before Godzilla is a main facet of the film.
Yeah, because they bounce around from all the characters that you're going to follow when Godzilla comes. Because there's the sleazy reporter duo.
Yes.
They flash to them and their antics of what they're doing, or I forget. But I know it bounces around.
Oh, yes, the Hank Azzini and his girlfriend, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it just shows their different perspectives before Godzilla is here.
Well, that's always been a thing, and I think they could have stopped a little bit of that. It's not as bad as the old Japanese Godzillas, because sometimes it hits 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And Godzilla hasn't shown up, and it's like, what the fuck? So it's a little bit better, but it could have been done a little bit better, maybe another little cut to. And they do one final cut to where Godzilla takes down two fishing boats. Again, right before she hits New York. And another beautifully shot scene, dead of night. And
Really
you
dope
get to
scene. I like
see a little bit more of its just sheer power because they're taken down just because she's swimming.
Yeah.
They caught fishing nets on her dorsal fins.
Yeah.
So she's just dragging down 2 ships, and it kind of is. It kind of sort of reminds me of Jaws.
Very.
It almost feels like a Spielberg homage.
That was something that like I liked about this, like the way this Godzilla was built. It was like primed for water.
It was adapted.
Yes,
Yes.
it was like built for water. Like it could do anything, and it could slither through the city. It was a. I don't know. I dug
That is why I love the movie.
Yeah.
It is very adapted to its environment.
Yeah.
It's an iguana. Have you
like,
ever?
when it was in the water, it was like holy shit.
I mean, just watching iguana when you let it out or it tries to run, it's in a corner. It's hiding. It's slithering. They're weird little things. They're snakes with legs.
And if you see them across water, motherfuckers move.
They're insane. So yeah, it's very adapted to its environment, and I loved it.
And yeah, fucking the boats up was just like the perfect little appetizer.
Yes.
For like what was coming.
Yes, one more little boat fight. Quick boat fight.
It's like, here we go. Godzilla's about to fuck shit up on land.
And it finally makes landfall. They have this cute little old man fishing, making a comment, you're never going to catch anything. And he's just like, blah. I love him. He's a cute little old man. He's just like fishing. And I guess he's probably been fishing there his whole life, for the past 20 years. Maybe catches a boot. But like,
Absolutely.
he just does his own thing. And Godzilla makes landfall. And there's a cool little scene where she's destroying the docks with her dorsal fin coming on land, and he's just like booking it, and you're like, run! I believe he makes out safely.
Of course.
So no RIP moment. No. He doesn't die. And yeah, Godzilla finally makes landfall, and it's shot really funnily. They have a scene where the Matthew Broderick's love interest is at work, and Simpsons on TV, and Godzilla. Its foot slams against the ground, and it's like the city's now in chaos.
Yep.
It's almost like a pre-Cloverfield.
Yeah.
They kind of still avoid showing you the full design, but like show you a little bit of destruction.
It's like, oh.
Yeah.
It's all an anticipation move, like building the hype for Godzilla's unveil.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because I believe at the time, marketing... That was its thing. They did not show the design.
Didn't show the whole thing.
It was the foot or the tail or an eye.
Yep.
Yeah, they never had a full body.
You seen the scratch. You
see damage. You see the aftermath of this monster.
But you never got to see the monster.
Yes, and I think you finally get to see it. Probably 10 minutes, only because they stretch out another couple more character moments.
Oh yeah.
What is their reaction to the city being destroyed kind of situation? So like they cut away, and yeah, it's finally revealed, and I think I saw it in theaters. Yeah, I did see it in theaters, and I don't really remember the reaction. I wish I was older, so I could see like a capsule of people's reaction to something, like, because it wasn't really the internet as we know it.
Mm-mm.
So it wasn't like we have leaks. Like you did, but like.
You really did.
They weren't screen grabs. They weren't secret footage. It was like...
Descriptions, maybe.
Yeah. Descriptions or like a concept art.
Blogs and shit like that, probably.
So you still had that literal reaction to seeing something. And I, like I said, love the design. And it's really adapted to New York. A lot of people hate the fact that it's not as full frontal assault as Godzilla is supposed to be. And I liked it, though, because, again, it's based off an iguana. Mm-hmm. The original Godzilla is canonically kind of like a dinosaur.
Uh-huh.
It's based off that. So, of course it's going to be more ferocious. Your concept in mind is a T-Rex.
Yeah.
You're going to think more Jurassic Park. Well, this director's thinking iguana, so he's going to think more National Geographic.
Yeah.
And it hides in the city between buildings, and you wouldn't think, and they even make comments, of course.
Yeah.
How could you lose it?
How could you lose it?
How could you lose it? And it's like, well, you gotta think, this is New York.
City.
New York, and it's in, mostly, I want to say, I don't know what boroughs or district, but a lot of big apartments.
Oh, yeah.
They make a comment of the Chrysler building and stuff like that. So it's downtown.
Yeah.
It's gonna be in the largest building meccas. It's gonna hide.
Easy to hide amongst the World Trade Center.
Exactly.
I mean,
R.I.P.
All right, yeah. Moment of silence.
Long weekends are all about getting a little you time. And at the Home Depot, you time means you building, you drilling, you doing, you recharging, you saving, and you going back for more. Do Labor Day your way and get a free 18-volt battery with select Milwaukee Power Toolkit purchases at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Yeah.
But no, I like the how it worked. I liked it being able to hide in the city and make quick little sneak attacks. Because of course, cities in destruction. The mayor sends out National Guard. Obviously, the military's called in. I don't believe they use jets immediately. It's helicopters at first.
Yeah.
Helicopters and infantry.
And doesn't she get to swipe a couple helicopters?
I think 2 or 3.
Because she's like climbing up a building or something.
Yes, they kind of have an Independence Day scene where they send out, I think, a group of 5 helicopters. Of course, it's like Red 1, fucking Tiger 2, blah, blah, blah.
Luke Skywalker shit.
It's almost Power Rangers. They want you to care about Porkins.
Yeah.
And, Godzilla.
In the 3 seconds he's on screen.
Yes. But yes, Godzilla takes out a couple of them, and in good ways. One, I think, is just taken out by tail or something like that, just out of, like, what is going on. And the rest are taken out. One is under. She ducks down because she is cold-blooded, and it's a very brisk afternoon. You can't really pick up her heat signatures.
Yeah.
So they can't use any heat-seeking missile, so it's all machine guns. So, plus, you don't want to be blowing up buildings.
No.
Just left and right.
Not yet.
Exactly.
At least not yet.
We're not to option nuke.
Yeah, no, they get there.
But yes, no, she takes out one by ducking down and snaps one up. And you could kind of see, like, they wanted this in 3D. Moment.
A couple years later,
Yeah.
they would have done the shit.
Like, I'm pretty sure they probably had, like, at least one 3D release. Because they had some scenes purposely shot like that. And the last one is taken out by, I think she's behind a building. The pilot is like, obviously she's lost. I don't know. I'm heading back. And she runs through a whole building and just chomps the helicopter. End of day.
Could you imagine you're like cooking and then Godzilla is in your fucking living room?
That's what I was saying when they were shooting machine guns when we were watching it. I'm like, they had to have a couple casualties.
Oh, for sure.
Because you know not everyone evacuated, and even if they tried, now they probably can't because, well, Godzilla's outside the building. And they're just unloading machine guns.
You gotta love like,
into the building.
These canon universes and shit like that. Because, like, who cleans up after Spider-Man's webs?
They disintegrate.
No.
Yes, it's in both verses. Well, not both. There's multiple. The concepts where one is he doesn't have it naturally, and he made it.
Yeah.
And he says it disintegrates.
Oh, God.
And then the universe where it comes from him naturally via the spider infection. The spider bite.
The fucking spider bite.
They disintegrate as well.
Okay.
Yes.
But
or
yeah.
extremely breakable, and they will eventually break down because they're biodegradable.
And
yeah.
these cities are just okay with these superheroes.
I'm more worried about like the Avengers verse casualties than Spider-Man's webs.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
See, this is why I'm not like in any office of any power.
Any power?
Of any sort. Yeah.
You'd be in there like, what's the Superman plan? The what? The plan if Superman is real. What's the plan?
Yeah.
We don't have that.
Like what?
You're the mayor of Kentucky.
Like, yeah, all the more reason.
Kentucky
Would
County.
you hide here if you were Superman?
Kentucky County in Idaho. Not the state.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus
no, like,
Christ.
Yeah, I'd do the same thing. I'd be like, so what is our plan? Yeah, for aliens and shit. Like, that'd be my first. So what's the real scoop?
Yeah.
Well, does Penn and Teller really not talk?
Yeah.
I want the real need to know info. But yes, at this point in the film, all the characters are finally converged.
Yep.
I believe Jean Reno has shown his face to Matthew Broderick at least once at this point, and Matthew Broderick has caught on to
What's going on?
I've seen you before because you were on the island when we first met, saying you were a like Filipino ambassador or some crap. Like, just some
But now
off the
you're
wall.
here.
Yeah, but now you're a banana salesman.
Yeah.
What the hell?
There's always money in the banana stand.
This is true. This is true.
There's always money in the banana stand.
But yeah, everyone's kind of converged. And what was your take on so far in the movie? I think they had shown the full design and its power of killing. Did you like it still, or were you kind of...
I was still with it.
You were still
I was
into
with
it?
it because, yeah, like, at that point, it had done fucked up the army several times and was now hiding in the city. So it was doing something you don't think of Godzilla doing. You know what I'm
Exactly,
saying?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
old school Godzilla just stood there and knocked over buildings.
Exactly, yeah, just walk
Like,
through the
this
buildings.
Godzilla is, like, actively sneaking around this fucking place, like, trying to, like, assimilate to it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, I'm making my home, making my
yeah,
nest.
like, I'm finna live here.
Don't bug me, I won't bug you. I'm moving
Yeah.
in. Gotcha.
So it was just really cool in the way it, like, this fucking skyscraper shaped iguana was using stealth.
Yeah, no, yeah, for real. Yeah, it kind of reminded me of like Predator and Independence Day.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah. Some super, like, alien predator type shit.
yeah.
Just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, no, like I said, it was very well adapted, and that's why I loved the design. It was like, it's not a T-Rex. It's
No,
an
yeah.
iguana. So, like, it's gonna be floppy and weird and, like, intense.
And being in New York like that, Cannon, New York, like, there's water all around Long Island. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
so there's plenty of, I can dip off here, and
Absolutely.
they've already shown the boats. So, like, I'll fuck you up in the water.
Nothing's really gonna bug me.
Yeah. No,
As far as it knows, yes.
so you knew what was going on.
Yeah, I think they have it chill for, I think they say like 3 days or something like that, kind of, where it goes missing. And they eventually find it in the subway. And they send a team in there.
Of course.
Because, yeah, it's a moment of silence, kind of the eye of the storm. National Guard has kind of like done the martial law. We have bridges blocked off. Everyone's out that should be out, quote unquote.
Yeah.
You know, of course, our main characters are sneaking in.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, no. So
In a van.
it's silent for a minute, and yeah, they eventually find Godzilla again in the sewers. And between now and then, like I said, Matthew Broderick is kind of the crux of the plot. He finds out, I don't know how, but he thinks it's a nesting.
Yeah.
He catches on that she's pregnant and trying to lay eggs. Because he's like,
yeah.
it's eating a lot.
Eggs. The amount of fish.
Yes, it was the amount of fish and, like, how it wasn't necessarily attacking. It was kind of just doing...
Marking its territory.
Yeah, it was kind of just, I'll find where I'm going to lay down.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. That's kind of what the fight felt like. It was like, okay, because it could just wreck shit and run through everything, but it's not. It's actively trying to hide.
Yeah, it wasn't parasitic in nature. It wasn't
Yeah.
trying to immediately take
Just
over.
kill.
Yes.
Yeah, it was more like survival at first.
Yeah.
Needed a chill spot for a minute.
No, for sure. So,
And of course, logically, the iguana's going to the subway. You go to the subway.
yeah, cold, dark place,
Yeah.
isolated, tight,
yeah.
not bothered. And again, it has no predators its size. So, I mean, honestly, past 50 feet in the ground,
And of course,
Nothing's
Matthew
bothering.
Broderick knows all this because he did the worm studies. He knows what's actually going down. But no one's listening to Matthew Broderick.
yeah, no,
Why would
he's a
they?
Mary Sue.
Yeah. Why
So,
would-
what happens next? In the subway, they find out she's pregnant because Matthew Broderick. So he tries to lure it out with bait. They put a bunch
Yep.
of tuna from all the fishing, I believe all the fishing plants or whatever, and yeah, they kind of lure her out, and it doesn't work.
Nope.
Again, another kind of moment.
And uses the Hudson River, like I was talking about.
Yes, it
earlier.
escapes through the Hudson River. It sneaks out, and they
Goes
try to use
super hard.
subs because they were like, "All right, we got a backup plan. We got you, America. Got you long time." No, the sub doesn't work because again, I think they're still using heat missiles, or it's just that adapted to swimming. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they use, they shoot torpedoes at it, which to no avail. Nothing works. And then they shoot heat-seeking missiles at Godzilla underwater, and Godzilla just ducks.
Yes,
It just ducks.
like again, like
She
why would you
just
try this
ducked.
3 times? But yes, no, at this point, I'm going to say that she has already laid her eggs. And I believe now she's in Madison Square Garden.
Yep.
Is where she's now fully nested, is how they find the connection. Because Jean Reno and Matthew Broderick, their team, has met back up again with the his love interest, Animal.
Yeah.
And I think there's maybe some other person with their team, if it's not just them two. I believe they have a product placement, Coca-Cola in the Subway can.
Oh, you know it.
It drops and that sets it off. But yes, they find out she has been in Madison Square Garden for the past day or two, and she has now laid her eggs, and it's close to
hatching time.
I think it's 2 or 3 dozen, give or take. It's a good amount of them, and they realize they're overrun because iguanas naturally have a clutch of, I'm going to say, close to 30 eggs easily, which is another nice factor about it, and I like the iguana origin. That's not something Godzilla did. Godzilla didn't lay eggs, and it didn't, let alone lay 30 of them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, canonically it did lay eggs. I'm not saying that. I am wrong for quickly saying that because that's false. But it doesn't lay such a high velocity of clutches. And yes, it is very close to hatching time. I think pretty much that next couple scenes, they have hatched.
Kill the fucking little strike team or whatever.
Yeah, they sneak in. Matthew Broderick and his love interest sneak in, and they find the eggs, and I believe they start hatching pretty much immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like on their arrival.
Yes, and a scene. The problem with the film, and I understand the hate, is towards the end, the comedy takes over.
Oh yeah,
too much. They probably have 3 or 4 elevator gags.
Oh yeah.
They have food gags. And also rips off Jurassic Park. The baby Godzillas are raptors, essentially. And the scene from Jurassic Park 1 where they're in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And one's hiding in an oven. You know, fun
course.
little...
Yeah, ha ha ha.
It rips off that
cute
past
little...
an homage to a point of, well, that's...
Like, come on.
And I believe they're a couple years apart. Because I think, 98.
Yeah, Jurassic Park would have been, what, like 94?
90, can you Google that? I think 96 or 94, yeah. It had been out for at least a year or two, if not a little more, so it was too soon. But
93.
93. Okay, a little older than we thought. But
yeah.
It's still too soon. Especially for a movie that has already a similarity between them being quote-unquote dinosaur reptiles.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no. Like I said, the end of the movie, it definitely starts losing its excitement. Yeah. And I believe at this point, they kill Godzilla. They kill it by trapping it in the bridge.
Uh-huh.
And it gets stuck in, I think it's the Brooklyn Bridge. And gets stuck in the cables. And it gets taken out with, I believe they're they're bunker busters.
Yeah.
Where they dig down first, like 10 feet in the ground, and then they explode. And yes, that is what takes it out, which is not happy because, that sounds weird. It is not happy. Blah, blah, blah. That's what made a lot of Godzilla fans not happy.
Oh, yeah.
Was because Godzilla could be taken down.
Yeah.
But its strength is in its numbers. You can kill one, but I think it's only 3 or 4 weeks, they say, maybe 6.
They'll be full grown.
Where they're at least not full grown, but able to lay eggs themselves. So you can be quickly overrun, and that is the strength of the Zillas. Is they're more like an infestation of fire ants.
Mm-hmm.
That can quickly grow to the size of Godzilla. And I'd say probably 6 months is most of their full grown, at least not capable, if not at least capable. And I think that's their biggest strong suit. So I'm willing to accept in this universe that their Godzilla can be taken down by, 4 or 5 bunker busters. But there's fucking 50 of them.
Yeah.
And in a week there's going to be 600 of them. Like, that's to a certain point. They take over there and they are the prime species. I think they could canonically 5 or 6 of them take down probably Mothra, probably Gabara level of kaiju.
Yeah.
I don't think they could take down Desodroya or King Ghidorah, but again, if there's 10,000 of them, obviously they can.
Yeah. Swarm.
Yes, but I think just a clutch of 5 of them could easily take something down. So they could potentially be the prime apex predator of that universe.
It's like a pack of Godzillas.
Yes.
It's so crazy.
That's their premise, and they're very home-based and very family-oriented. So they will stay together, and they know their strengths in numbers. They know their weaknesses, especially if they can catch on. And I like that knowledge that they have, that little bit more, not quite intelligence,
Yeah.
but that evolutionary instinct in them to kind of stay in packs of together. Almost like wolves.
Really, yeah. And it was just a cool concept for Godzilla to have multiple.
Yes.
When before, like I said, I always thought of the original Godzilla as almost like fucking Power Ranger Megazord.
Yes, there's
Like-
one singular,
like
that's it. If you can
it-
take this down, cool, Godzilla's
Yeah.
dead, end of the world, haha.
But it's an isolated event, but like with the pack mentality thing.
Yes, it doesn't end.
Yeah, they could just swarm anything and go anywhere.
And at the end of the movie, it isn't over. They have another bunch of eggs found that make a hatching sound.
Yep.
So there are still more of them at the end of the movie. And I like that. It's never going to happen, but I like that fact that...
Like that it was
at
left open.
Yes. That, guess what? There's still at least one of us, if not 5. Actually, it might be way more. I think they actually do a zoom out, and I think it's a good clutch of 20 again.
Yeah,
And
I think so.
at the animated series, that's a spin-off of this, is that egg.
Oh shit!
So
That's crazy. I've never seen that.
there is still one, and I
Yeah.
don't believe they killed it off at the animated series. I think at the end, go be free, Willie,
Yeah.
kind of thing, and they let Godzilla go. So yeah, I think still at the end of everything written down for TriStarzilla and every franchise, it still exists, and it's not
That's
dead.
crazy.
No, I like that. I like that. And again, the fact that it can asexually reproduce, and that means that it could potentially be infinite number. Printer go brr moment kind of thing,
Yeah.
and it doesn't stop.
No shit.
But yeah, we just want to do a Godzilla just to kind of have one out, and it's a very divisive movie.
Yeah,
And you hear kind of blatant praise or blatant hate for it,
yeah,
and I kind of wanted to meet in the middle.
and it's like I was saying before, it's a standalone story. It's its own event.
Yes, I don't have to talk about
Yeah,
10 other ones to make it sense. Yes.
So-
I'm not talking about Mecha King Ghidorah, and you're like, why is he Mecha?
long
Let's
story,
go back.
bro. Yeah,
Yeah. By the way, the story involves time travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good standalone movie. And yeah, it doesn't get enough praise. I like it. I'm not going to tell you to watch it. I'm not going to tell you not to watch it. If you're going to, you're going to.
Yeah,
It's all purely based on the design.
yeah. If you like that version of Zilla,
Exactly. I would say it's no better or no worse than most Godzilla films on average.
on average, for
Other than
sure.
this one, Sparks Joy one, the Iconics. A lot of them can be kind of boring, kind of dull, or kind of bad.
And this one was just super stick funny.
It was American.
It was American.
It was American,
That's the
and
best way to put it.
they didn't want to market like how Japanese did. They didn't have the ability to be like,
If Bart Simpson went and seen a Godzilla movie, what would it be?
exactly. Exactly. It was the Butterfingers Taco Bell of, it was its products.
South Park, Eminem.
They didn't have the rights to anything else.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, we can definitely do a Mothra and Godzilla film.
Yeah.
We can definitely do a King Kong versus Godzilla film. It was like, here, no, you can't use Godzilla, but you can use the name.
Yeah.
If
Dude.
it sucks, I'm punching you. And that was the deal. Like, kind of like, yes, Toho got the final say on the design. They got to be like, redo it if they hated it. They liked it, obviously.
Which is really unfortunate when you think about it. Because, like, they were already handicapped to begin with.
Oh, 100%.
So they make this whole new Godzilla, this whole new origin, and they're like, "Fuck you and your movie."
Kind of.
You know what I'm saying?
I blame marketing. Like I said, I blame marketing and then producers.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like the original movie would have been a little bit darker and a little bit closer to what you expect and kind of wanted. I don't feel like at the final end of the day, every person that was cast in the movie was who they wanted. You could tell some people were definitely supposed to be there, but some of the actors and actresses could have been taken out and interchanged with someone else, and it could have been just as good, if not better.
Yeah.
So I feel like producers definitely didn't have as much say as they wanted. The director didn't have the final say. It was all down to whoever had the biggest stake in the company and the movie. So a lot of things went by. Like I said, that's why marketing was so terrible.
Yeah.
They had to sublet it out to every fast food chain they could to try and break even before the movie came out. They had to tie in with Butterfinger. They had to tie in with the goddamn Taco Bell Chihuahua. They had to push toys out before the movie came out.
Yeah, and I feel like that's really what gives it the bad rep.
Yes,
is all
and the
that.
comedy at the end. I still stand by that.
Oh, yes. God, yes.
They tried to be too
But
funny at the end.
That's also the 90s. You know what I'm saying? 98.
Yeah.
That's about right.
Yeah, I think pretty much it was either pre or right after Matrix era was starting or beginning. It didn't quite hit that you could mind fuck in a blockbuster. You had to be, either... So you're going with McDonald's or you're going with Burger King for your movie?
Yeah.
Well, no, this movie's supposed to be... Yeah, I know, but are you going with Taco Bell or KFC?
It was all branding.
Yeah.
Yeah. They wanted...
They had no choice.
Yeah, they wanted to do like a whole rollout
Yes.
for this and be like, hit the ground running with toys.
Like I said, they had planned the trilogy for the movie before it was even out. Because Toho was like, yeah, you can have the rights for 5 years, I think it was. And yeah, I think they bought him out at the end of the day, and they were like, no, we want the rights to this Zilla creature. You can't use this again. We're gonna kill it right now. we're gonna old yellow this real fast. But it's worth it in my opinion, and it's worth it from a kaiju snob. If I can say that, you can get over yourself a little bit. Whether you like the movie at the end of the day, that's your own thing.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, the cast in this movie isn't that bad.
It's not that bad, but it's not that good. It worked out for them, yes.
Yeah.
But if you would have inputted this in a computer
No.
and said make a movie, let alone a Godzilla movie,
It probably wouldn't be that good.
no. Because again, most of the cast is Simpsons fame or
And very like one-dimensional characters. You know what I'm saying?
yes, there's no one really has depth.
No, like everybody has an objective.
Yes.
I need to do this. I need to do,
Yeah,
Matthew Broderick, I have to get the girl.
I don't think I would have enjoyed more, but they didn't use the time appropriately. They started to, like I said, the first probably 45 minutes of the movie, maybe an hour, I love. But what I don't like is just, I can see where people hate it. But I don't think it deserves as much hate as it gets. This isn't Howard the fucking Duck.
Yeah, like come on.
Yeah.
But calling it the American Godzilla makes so much sense, and that's really what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. It's America personified in a movie.
What else would America do other than put a fucking McDonald's stamp on Godzilla's ass?
You got to.
And
you
say-
gotta have the Pepsi joke.
Dance clown. Yeah. No, absolutely. It's the American Godzilla, but it could have been way worse. And I'm glad that Toho trusted Legendary to do this. So far, the Godzilla movies, the new ones, are good. I have my gripes about them, but I have my gripes about a tuna fish sandwich. So,
Yeah.
that's not saying anything. I enjoy them. They're working out pretty good. So, it could have been worse. I feel like if they would have made a trilogy back then, it would have been horrible.
Oh god.
It would have been very, very wrong and irredeemable to an extent. I'm glad they pushed and did an animated series. It's weird. It's more what you want. It's every episode there's another monster. It reminds me of Jackie Chan Adventures.
Yeah.
Think Jackie Chan Adventures and the TriStar Godzilla had a baby. That's what the animated series is like. It's good though.
That's great.
So I'm glad they got to continue.
That's a slept-on series. The Jackie Chan Adventures.
It's right.
Very. See?
We might be doing a Jackie Chan Adventures. How many seasons is that? It's probably 8.
Oh
Easy
god, I
8.
don't even know.
I'm gonna guess that.
Kids WB, God, and that's a new episode every day.
Is it?
Kids WB was new content every day.
It's horrible.
Because Pokemon was like that. Every
Oh,
day
yeah.
you got a new episode.
That's horrible.
That's how they got you hooked. It was like crack.
And you know all these guys are broke.
Yes.
Everyone that drew this is broke. They died penniless.
God, yeah.
Fucking died of laryngitis in a Boca Raton hospital. Horrible. But no, I'm glad they got to continue the verse, but I'm glad it wasn't in movies.
Yeah.
But these new ones are good, and we might eventually do them. The only problem with
mind.
doing a lot of Godzilla is that's when I have to make, because like I said, Jake's a fan, but he hasn't seen
No.
98% of all the Godzilla films.
Oh, God, no.
There's so many of them, and there's so many eras. I can't just show you one film. I need to show you at least 2
Yeah.
of that same era and that same monster.
Yeah.
There's so many of them, and they're all so different with being the same at the end of the day. But we're definitely do more Godzilla content. One we definitely have for sure written down in the books is Shin Godzilla.
For sure.
That is another standalone redesign variation of Godzilla that we can cover, and it's also very divisive. It's divisive, and it's being praised beyond belief. And it deserves it, but at the same point in time, it also has its flaws, and I think they're pretty much at the same level, in my opinion.
Yeah, and like we talked about before, it was really like the overhyped or underhyped and overrated of,
Yes.
of these two Godzillas.
Yes, that's for sure.
It like the 98 Godzilla got blown as far as the marketing and everything. There was a lot of money put behind it, and then you look at the Shin Godzilla and like not even a peep. But
Well, there was, but not in the mainstream.
Yeah, like
You got some news on like Yahoo,
yeah,
but no,
If
it
you-
wasn't marketed outside Japan, really.
really, yeah. And then you watch it and it's like, wow, this is fucking great.
Because-
It's like, how did this go unrecognized?
Because yeah, Japan, they had a horse racing tie-in. There was a horse racing game tie-in. They had some marketing. They put him on noodles, and he's the Shin Godzilla's actually a new face of
Yeah.
Toho. They got rid of the original 68 or 64 design Godzilla and replaced it with Shin.
That's legit.
So they're obviously about it, and I like it. But I think TriStar is underappreciated as well.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Especially looking at it now in retrospective.
Yeah.
Where you don't have the is it cool factor anymore. It's just, is it a good movie?
Yeah,
And-
no,
and I
no
mean-
one's bragging about watching
and honestly,
Godzilla
it's-
98 anymore.
Yeah, and honestly, it's a good movie.
Oh, it's fantastic.
You know,
Fantastic.
and you can
Like I said, the ending sucks, but that's... I can say that about some movies that...
most movies, yeah.
I can say the ending of Shawshank Redemption sucks.
See? Another battle for another day.
This is true. So, yeah, we're going to wind it down, and have a good night.